Hey everybody, welcome to Who Gives a Shit, the podcast that has the most important question. Who gives a shit? TJ, man, how was your week, my brother?
My week, it had been one of the better ones. The Legion, which is a local poker bar that I play at. I guess it's just an American Legion post, but yeah, we started playing cards there, and I talked to people that I haven't seen in literally a year and a half, and I'm just catching up with those guys. It's been a blast, and I realized how rusty I was at live poker, so I got some things that I'm working on, and I think it's what I needed in life. I'm doing pretty good. I'm up $68 from the start of the week, which is pretty mediocre, but I'm just lucky that I didn't lose money because I'm at really shitty where I'm at right now. I'm sure I'll get better with more practice because it has been a year and a half since I played a live game of poker like that. But.
So, how far you think that you're going to get at poker, man? You ever going to like really fucking hit it big? What's the over and under on that, man?
I think there's probably a 30% chance that I could hit it big. In the event that I do hit it big, I had decided that if I ever get to 300 grand in my life, I'm just going to quit and buy a house with it, if that ever happens.
Well, yeah, that'll make a lot of things a lot easier if you actually just own some property. Yeah, that's for sure. Man, I've had a lazy ass week, dude. When I got a nice 3-day weekend, and I've been working so damn much. I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I didn't do a damn thing, dude. I just like sat around and played video games, and I was mostly like unplugged the whole weekend. That was nice.
Well, we got a great show. We got some real heavy hitters as far as the stories. So
it's been a heavy news week, dude. There's been so much shit going on that really, there was so many things that to choose from. It was fucking crazy. I caught a couple like as they were developing. And I kind of noticed some trends over time as the story developed, actually. So, I'm looking forward to talking about some of this ridiculous shit. We're both kind of competing to see who has the most retarded thing that we're bringing in. That's for fucking sure.
It's a pretty strong week. Who is going to start us off?
Go for it, man. It's all you.
All right. I'm going to go with the weaker of the two stories that I brought in. Now, it may surprise you that this is a weak story when you hear a headline, but the headline is, Twitter users outraged that Bill Cosby is free, yet Britney is still under the chains of her conservatorship. From that headline, could you take a guess which blog website wrote the article?
I'm going to say, with as ridiculous as the news cycle has been, that it's coming out of the LA Times.
No, that's a good guess. This one is actually coming out of BuzzFeed. Everyone's favorite news organization.
These motherfuckers are still around. Haven't they gone out of business yet because they fired all the white women, and that happens to be everybody that was on the board?
Well, listen, I think they should, the way that they're calling this an article. Now, Cosby's freeing is obviously a huge story, and there's been many outlets that have reported on it. The reason that I picked BuzzFeed in particular is because they do this thing in journalism that I absolutely hate, where instead of writing an actual article and not even bothering to give a hot take that the journalist has, they just screenshot and crop some tweets from Twitter, and they base the article on that. Which is literally what this is.
They pulled a story out of Twitter, and So, So the Bill Cosby thing was, I mean, when I heard about it, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? How the hell did that happen?
Fucking awesome, dude. Like, just imagine having so much money that you can just do endless appeals if you get in some legal shit, and you can get off no matter what you do. I mean, it's beautiful to watch. And
What does
apparently,
Chappelle say about him? He does good, but he rapes.
yeah, he had that joke. He said it'd be like if chocolate ice cream raped 64 people. That's one of my favorite jokes. But apparently, Cosby's freeing is a mark of the patriarchy, according to angry fat feminist on Twitter.
Yeah, but Tariq Nasheed said that it was a fine strike back against people trying to make black men gay or something. I forget exactly what he said, but that was the general gist of it.
Well, Bill Cosby went on a crusade against saggy pants because that's a fashion trend fad that was invented by the white man to turn all
Yeah,
the
this
black
rapist
people
would
gay.
call up people and be a real fucking asshole about being like, hey, wait, hey, you're representing the black man. You got to pull your pants up. And these motherfuckers are like, damn it, Bill Cosby, get off the phone. He's like, I'm trying to rape people.
Well, when he said to the young teenagers to keep their pants up, nobody realized that he had his pants down 90% of the time because he was busy raping. But, congratulations.
Yeah, he was just drugging bitches like it was going out of style.
Congratulations
like,
to Mr.
it was just a couple of
Cosby.
Quaaludes in your drink. Don't even worry about it.
I surely do hope that your Jello endorsement comes back now that you're a free man.
Oh God, he's back to doing pudding pops. Oh man, I haven't had pudding pops in a while.
Now, you might be asking, who gives a shit about this? Now, a lot of people seem to give a shit about Bill Cosby's rape.
Yeah, man. Anyone really rooting for Team Black is like, we got one, guys. He might be a rapist, but the judicial system didn't steamroll this motherfucker.
The reason I brought this one in is because I think the patriarchy angle is really fucking weird. And it's like, it's not needed in the story, but I think to like build a headline, they just took tweets from feminist Twitter. And they are all like, oh my God, how is Britney not free from her sexist rapist father? But Bill Cosby can rape 69 women and get free from jail.
Yeah, well, I mean, these things don't have a corresponding timeline at all. It just happened to kind of line up that way with Britney Spears really getting out there about it too. And she'll end up getting out of it. Like, it's just going to take a little while. Like, now that it's kind of made public, people are really paying attention. And they're like, man, we can't really... I guess this dude probably knows the gravy train is up. It's just going to take a little while for this shit to play out because all the rulings were things that had happened months past. Like this, the legal system takes time. I mean, it took Cosby fucking years to get out whenever they had really fucked up the evidence in this trial. Like they really admitted a bunch of shit that they had no right to. And there was a previous agreement that, you know, basically he had immunity from it because he admitted to be civilly liable for like fucking with this broad that like in 2015.
You hit it on the head.
In that even.
You hit it on the head with the timeline thing. And I think that this illustrates that women are not able to tell time, which is why they think Britney Spears and Cosby are at all somehow connected. Because they're happening at the same time does not mean that it is connected in any way. And this is a real bizarre, strange connection, and it's coming from people who look for sexism in anything anyways. So of course you're gonna go on and scream in all caps about the patriarchy. But
Yeah, well, I mean, even these people talk about their own feminist lens. And it basically, they look at any situation. They're like, all right, how can I squeeze the words like white supremacist and patriarchy in when I'm looking at this somehow? It's like Bill Cosby got out. Well, dudes let him out, so that's the patriarchy. You know, white supremacists. Well, Bill Cosby shamed black people to be more white, so there we go. That's why they let him out.
Now, it would have been a lot funnier if they did go for the white supremacy angle. That's what I was hoping for when I clicked on the article, because I think it would have been a lot funnier given that Bill Cosby is a black
is getting let out to terrorize the black race. He's going to be calling you, telling you to pull your fucking pants up. And you're like, damn it, I can't.
It's a lot like that buck breaking thing, though. Just because that Tariq Nasheed guy is gay, and he has gay thoughts in his head all the time. So he's trying to connect everything to being gay and gayness, no matter what it is. And I think that these feminists on Twitter, who BuzzFeed has credited as other journalists for some reason, have that same outlook on the story.
Yeah, man. It is a fucking weird one. Like, I mean, I didn't know that the Cosby case was botched so badly initially, man. And there was a part where, I remember they were like walking him from one jail to another, and he randomly did like the Fat Albert in front of everyone. He's just like, hey, hey, hey. And it was the most bizarre thing to see in a fucking legal case. And now they're letting this dude out. And shit, what the fuck would you do if you're Bill Cosby? I'd be worried about some motherfucker just randomly drive whooping my ass.
This is what you do. You do a Fat Albert 2, Too Fat for Film. And it's financed by Weinstein Productions, who... My prediction, Weinstein is also going to get out of jail at the end of this, because what this taught me is that if you have enough money, you can just appeal over and over, and then eventually your lawyers are going to find something that the cops fucked up, because it's a human error thing. People are bound to fuck up after going through one procedure so many times. There's gonna be a fuck up somewhere along the way. And cops are retards, most of them. So it doesn't surprise me at all that they fucked up the handling of the evidence. And it's just so funny that Bill Cosby is out of jail. I can't think of a better way for White Boy Summer to kick off.
Fucking White Boy Summer, huh? Oh my god. Man, it just shows that actually this is really an old DA's fault. He fucking signed a non-process, like he basically gave him immunity so that this chick could try to sue him. And this is before they knew that he had raped like so many fucking people, and because they included this evidence that they used in the civil trial in his criminal trial, they had to go basically throw all that stuff out because he signed an immunity clause. It just took a while to make lawyers require the court to enforce it. I mean, they still got this dude locked up for a little while, but still, some people are like, "Oh no, this is great for justice." Come on, man. You think some regular lawyers would have gotten this off the ground? This only worked because we got a pay-to-play legal system, and that's the only reason that this dude didn't get thrown all the way under the jail.
Well, I think it's just another reason why capitalism is the best system, because if you have the financial means, you can just go around putting Quaaludes and pudding pops, doing the Cosby Show, and nobody's going to think anything of it, and we're going to spend, like 3 months in jail? Hell yeah, dude. And I love this because the people who give a shit about it are the feminists on Twitter. And out of all the groups in society, those are the ones that it's most fun to make butt mad. So
Man, you're right about that. I didn't see the meltdown because I'm not hanging around, but I'm sure if you've been waiting for that Schadenfreude, yeah, I'm sure you got plenty of it. The salt mines must have been fucking paying off dividends that week. Oh
so
shit.
that's really all I have to say about this story. It was a lot less about Cosby and more about how BuzzFeed just continues to do shitty journalism. But I would like to commend Bill Cosby for making the feminist butt mad. And I would like to say to the feminist, butthurt hater, cry more.
Okay, man, I got a headline for you. Now you wouldn't be able to guess the outlet, but it's still a cucky ass fucking. This is the lamest fucking take I've seen as far as a headline is concerned. Women oppose Sha'Carri Richardson's marijuana suspension. White men support it. Poll finds. So what this is from the Marijuana Moment. So I track weed related news because I am heavily invested in a bunch of cannabis stocks. So I check it often. And I saw this thing about this chick getting suspended from the Olympic team over, testing hot for pot. And I was like, oh shit, that sucks. And then I randomly saw this thing where they're like, well, it shows that white men support it more than women do. And I looked at the article again. I'm like, wait a minute. It doesn't even say anything about race. I'm like, oh, fucking Kyle Yeager, you're a fucking blue pill beta cuck, man.
I guess I can be kind of a blue pill beta cuck it.
And, but what this is about is, what this is about. You got this chick, Sha'Carri. So Sha'Carri is, you look at this chick, you're like, Jesus Christ, she's like a genetic freak, man. Some people are just designed to be crazy athletes. And this chick is freaking shredded, man. And she's stupid fucking fast as well. She can run like 100-meter dash in like 10.7, which is fucking quick. Like she was a contender to take home the gold. But while she was still in the process of qualifying, she had smoked some weed, man, some of that devil's lettuce. After her, they say after her biological mother died. I don't know who was raising her or what the whole situation with that was, but basically her mom died, so she got high. And then she had to go take a drug test soon afterwards, and they caught her for smoking weed, man.
Yeah,
so
marijuana
kicked her ass out of off the Olympic team.
Marijuana is one of the harder ones to pass a drug test with because it stayed in your it stayed in your system for like 30 days or something.
Man, if you smoke it like on the regular for a long time, really, I'm wondering how much this chick smoked. Because if she just puffed a couple of times, this chick is like 0% body fat. Like, this chick is like shredded, has like abs and shit like that. She like, looks like this chick is ready to just freaking knock a motherfucker out at any given moment. And on top of that, as the story unfolded, I saw that they started cropping the pictures of this chick a little differently. Like there was some where she was like pointing her finger like straight out and shit like that. They started cropping that off the side of the picture because she has these super long, like black chick nails, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Black chick nails? I'm very
Oh,
familiar.
dude, her nails are like 3 inches long at least.
Yeah, the chick I'm with now, when she gives me a scalp massage, it is unlike no other, man, because she's got those 3-foot long nails. On the end
but on the early pictures of it, they had that, but they started cropping it in as time went on, and eventually I'm like, man, why can't you see this bitch's nails? So they trying to fucking whitewash this broad? Because they had an interview with her, and I'm like, man, she is not coming across very well. Because she's saying a lot of, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the other one.
And I was like, oh. She's like, this won't happen again. Now, I do think it's fucking dumb that they're kicking her ass out over some fucking bullshit ass weed, and a lot of people are kind of in the same boat. But on the flip side, this chick knew what she was signing up for. You're basically signing up with freaking sports Hitler to go be part of like the Olympic Games and shit. These people don't play around.
I mean, yeah, unless you're like an athlete that matters, which none of the female athletes matter enough for them to just pay their way through the drug test, you're gonna be put under high scrutiny when you sign up for the Olympics.
Yeah, it has its own like independent commission and shit like that. But man, she's so fucking lean though, and she burns like she's constantly running and shit. If she had actually just got high like once, that shit would have been out of her system in like a couple of days, man. So I'm wondering when the fuck they got her, or how much she was smoking. Don't look at me, I don't know. It is fucking dumb that she got caught. That's for fucking sure. How do you not study for a drug test?
Who gives a shit about this? Because from what I know, and I actually studied sports management for a while, and one of the cornerstones was they would try to convince everyone in there to watch female sports and give a shit about them, and they were just getting no reaction in terms of what they wanted. Nobody gives a shit about female sports, except for maybe the parents of the athletes involved. So who gives a shit about this story?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like I was excited for the women's track and field. There's really not a whole lot of shit in the Summer Olympics that I care about at all. Maybe the gymnastics shit, that's kind of cool.
Oh, that Simone Biles bitch is hot as fuck. Is she gonna be it?
Don't look at me. I don't give a fuck about the Olympics, man. But, there's a bunch of marijuana advocates that were acting all ass mad about it. And, I can understand why they're a little pissed, but then again, it is what it is. Like, it's not like she didn't know. So people were acting a bit ridiculous about it. And some people were, really trying to justify for this chick and all this other shit. So, I mean, that was kind of funny to see. In fact, we should actually get into seeing what the internet has to say about it in our favorite segment, To Catch a Redditor. So this is what Reddit had to say about the Olympic weed situation.
From r/sports, Red Queen Hypo writes, because some people are unwilling to accept any restrictions whatsoever on themselves. My lab job demands pants and closed-toed shoes, which are extremely uncomfortable in 95-degree heat. You know what I do? I wear those clothes because they're a job requirement, because I'm a grown-up who understands what rules are.
Is that not the most fucking square-ass motherfucker you've ever heard, dude? Like, that's the lamest possible way to try to describe that, dude.
Yeah, dude, if you were to ask me what Reddit was in one comment, it would be that thing right there. Excuse me, actually, I follow the rules because I'm a grown-up.
I wear pants and shoes, okay? What the fuck? Congratulations, do you want a fucking trophy?
He wants Reddit gold. Adam.
How do you pat yourself on the back for wearing like pants? What the fuck?
I wear basketball shorts all the time, so I wouldn't know.
God. Well, here is one about Bill Cosby.
From r/news, Ridiculous writes, the fact that these infamous people like Cosby and Weinstein fake injuries, illnesses, and issues to get people to take pity or lenience on them for sentencing and public image is absolutely reprehensible. DJ Paresh writes, he'll be on Joe Rogan smoking cigars in no time.
Now that I would like to see. I want to see Bill Cosby lecture Joe Rogan about how he should stop doing DMT and his hyper.
Joe Rogan had the lamest miss of an excuse. He's like, "Oh, I couldn't. I have daughters." I'm like, "Motherfucker, That's not why you can't have Bill Cosby on your podcast. You know that's not why you like. It was because Spotify would nuke you into oblivion if you even suggested it. Like they would not play.
He
that
just had Quentin Tarantino on, who like covered up a bunch of rapes for Weinstein. So the daughter.
Yeah, but he makes good movies, so people are willing to
excuse.
forgive him to a certain extent.
Well, I already have. I mean, if I'm going to pick Gwyneth Paltrow or Pulp Fiction, I'm picking Pulp Fiction every time. So,
well, I mean, you've seen Quentin Tarantino. This dude is fucking ugly. Like, how else is he supposed to get laid if not rape? You know, like sometimes you look at somebody like, meh.
if you don't know what Quentin Tarantino is, think Quagmire with a bald spot.
It's pretty bad. It's really rough.
Yeah.
All right. So this is one about what you're bringing in, CJ, and that's Black TikTok going on strike. All right, here we go.
From r/people of color, Kennedy29 writes, the most popular influencers on TikTok are predominantly white, and there had been earlier reports that these creators were copying choreographies of young black girls and guys and not placing due credit. Finally, black creators have decided to take a stand against the theft of their intellectual property. There's no fix for this issue because the harsh truth is white people, especially white women, sell much better than other races. It's how the system is made, and I'm open to debating it in private messages.
First off, r/people of color. How long did you have to look before you found that one?
Dude, this one, okay, so that little segment was like a fucking fifth of the whole fucking post. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this? I just couldn't believe what the fuck I was reading. I'm like, uh-huh.
We're gonna get into that when I bring it in, but a lot of the humor that comes from the story is that these teenagers on TikTok think that you can trademark a dance move. It's the most retarded thing I've ever seen.
That's apparently something that's very hard to do. And, okay, so here's our last To Catch a Redditor this week, and this is with what I'm bringing in, which is the LAPD and fireworks, man.
From r/gifts, I'm totally high right now, writes, they enforce legal monopolies that exist on fireworks for legal fireworks displays with licenses and all that jazz. These are not lawfully owned at one point and therefore serve no purpose to humanity. Like 8-hour-old donuts could serve no purpose to anyone ever, except to my belly. The only time capitalism fails to make me fatter for less money is when they don't allow the secondhand donut markets. Bastards. Well, they need politicians' help, but we all know that that's the only cost of doing business.
This is just so Reddit right here. How the fucking...
What, you don't like the schizo posting?
The fucking smirk on this guy. I bet he was proud when he wrote all that shit. Like, oh, you don't want to fuck up the donut market. Get a load of that one, cops. My God, this is... Wow. I'm glad we do this segment, man, because
I know everyone is now dumber having just heard that, you don't want to get too smart in life, otherwise you'll start being miserable. So, listen to Reddit from time to time. It'll bring you back to reality. So let's get out of To Catch a Redditor. Anyways, all right, CJ, you want to go first or shall I?
Let's have you go first, man.
All right. So, man, you know how chicks can kind of be competitive, dude? Well, you got the LAPD broads that are not to be outdone by these Missouri chicks accidentally shooting people of color. So instead, they are going to just blow up a borough with a bunch of fucking homemade fireworks. That's what they fucking decided to do. So the LAPD put a bunch of fireworks in this fucking bomb disposal truck and basically made a gigantic fucking pipe bomb and blew up like a fucking square block, man.
Well, we got women in STEM. and a whole block went on fire in the process. I'm sure that's what you want.
Okay. Now, here's the deal. The way I'm framing this is a hot take because I saw this right when this shit broke. I'm talking within an hour. I knew that this was happening. So I was watching all the feeds and I'm like, holy shit, this shit's insane. And they had all this footage of this freaking chick that's just kind of nonchalantly wiring all this shit together, kind of throwing it in this truck. And I'm like, huh. Okay. But maybe 3 hours after this really started breaking, you stop seeing footage of this chick. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why aren't they showing? This is the chick that wired all this crap together. Why did they stop showing her? I'm like, oh no. Oh no. They're trying to be fucking Captain Save-A-Ho. They don't want people to know that abroad fucked this shit up.
Yeah, white knight, my lady.
It's mighty suspicious, man. I'll say that. It's very suspicious the way that I saw it, the way that I saw the footage change as it went. And man, this shit blew the fuck up too, man.
What I like about this is that we're supposed to believe the narrative that women can do anything a man can do. And she can't even be a cop, which is a job where you do nothing but paperwork 90% of the time. It's just hilarious. And the fact that they are scrubbing it off the internet like it's some bad information about China, it makes it even more funny. This chick was a
blonde, and so was the other chick that shot that guy. They don't want to show that these blondes are really trying to outdo each other all the time.
Well, I gotta tell you, Adam, this Legally Blonde sequel that we're witnessing in real time, I'm a big fan of it. I think it's hilarious.
Oh god, it is fucking ridiculous. Okay, so this fucking story it really gets my goat, man. Who gives a shit? I actually give a shit about this one, man, because it just shows I think it's an important story as to why I got a strict no snitching policy, because people in the neighborhood were just getting annoyed that there were people that were randomly setting off fireworks because this dude was just selling these things. He had 5,000 pounds of fireworks, man. And he had some that he had made himself. And these things look fucking badass. They're badass enough to fucking set off the biggest pipe bomb this fucking city block has ever seen. This shit fucking rolled over a car. Like, this thing blew the fuck up. It fucking shattered foundations, blew out every window for a while, man. Like, this thing was no fucking joke. But because these guys snitched on this dude, the fucking cops came in and blew up the whole fucking neighborhood. Like, this is why sometimes you just don't want to get fucking cops involved, because they'll only make a situation worse sometimes.
I mean, yeah, I can definitely relate to that with being 5150 and all.
Like, or how many times have cops been called up to like some bullshit noise complaint, and they'll go fuck with like a fucking poker game, a friendly game in someone's backyard where people are hardly being noisy. There's just got some hoe-ass neighbors or something.
It's funny you say that
ass that there's money on the table.
It's funny you say that because with the Legion being open, we actually talked about this story, me and the guys. So there was one night where they had an actual Legion meeting where the veterans would come in and I don't know what they do, talk about finances for the month or whatever. And there was this blonde twig looking chick. She had to be like 80 pounds and she was so skinny you could literally see her rib cage. And she gets into it with the bartender about how even though she's not a member and she never served, she should have privy to the information in this meeting because her dad's dad was in the Navy or something. And for whatever reason, the bartender, instead of telling her to fuck off, called the cops. And they have 5 patrol cars for this 80-pound skinny bitch that I could probably handle. And it's absolutely ridiculous, man. They got like 3 lady cops standing by the jukebox and like they got people on standby and there's one guy radioing over every move, what they're doing. And it was just so overkill, man. It was ridiculous.
Well, I really gotta show this chick her place. Okay. So, oh my god. So all this bartender had to do was just tell this chick to fuck off. But he was like, yeah, fucking crazy bitch is crazy. How about we just call in 5 cops and...
Or not even. How about you just go to the poker table where there's 5 guys who aren't crippled that could handle this bitch with one hand. She's a fucking paperweight, basically. But no, you decided to call the cops, and now people can't get out of the parking lot because they have a squad car blocking the road. So now if I wanted to leave, now I have to sit around and be interrogated when I don't even know what the fucking argument was over.
Yeah, really protecting and serving, man, helping you out, right? Oh, but you know dude, the fucking, this whole thing originated from the fucking fireworks situation, but the police chief of the this police chief, he had the fucking nerve, dude. Like the way that he talked about this shit, he's like, "Why'd you make us come out and blow up your neighborhood? Why?" I was like, "Oh my god, what a fucking asshole! Are you kidding me?"
Oh, so because this guy did something illegal that justifies millions of dollars worth of property damage, most of whom are probably innocent people, I would guess, have nothing to do with this fucking
all of them are
firework.
innocent people, man. He just had some fireworks. It's a fucking bullshit ban anyway. Remember last year? All the cops, they had video of all the cops setting off all their illegal fireworks that they had confiscated and shit.
I remember more so the one in New York because they had the pony cops on the horses, and that shit was fucking hilarious to watch.
Huh. Well, man, this fucking fireworks thing, the whole angle about the chicks fucking it up and them trying to cover for it, I think that's pretty hilarious. But I also think it's just typical that for the government to, this truck, I don't even know how much it cost, but it must have been so much fucking money. It looks like they blew at least $1 million on this thing just because of how heavy duty it is. And they, just nonchalantly fucking it up. And making everything a fucking living hell, just blowing everything to shit. And then they'd be like, "No, we did everything by the book." It's like, well, you really kind of botched this one about as bad as you could do it. Fuck.
I guess the price of virtue signaling is worth a whole block of LA, is what the police department decided. So.
Yeah, this time. But I guess that's really all I got to say about these fireworks, man. So what do you got this week, man? What's the fucking big one?
This is a fucking doozy. This is from an outlet who I featured on the show. Probably 80% of the issues I bring in is from this outlet. I'm going to read you the headline, and we'll take a guess what it is. Black TikTok creators put on strike as they feel they don't get enough credit.
Okay, so earlier, you said that 80% of the time you bring it in from these people, and earlier I said the LA Times, so I'm going to say the LA Times again.
It is our friend the LA Times, which I want to
Bam, playing the odds, baby.
Yeah. I want to start off by thanking the LA Times, because if it was not for your news outlet, we would not have a show.
If you weren't such consistent tripe, I would have never guessed that.
But so when I first looked into the story, I had to look up black TikTok creators because I had no idea this was like a fucking union of people who could go on strike. And apparently it's a thing.
Okay.
So there's this rapper, Megan Stallion or something. And I don't know her full name. Megan something Stallion. And I guess she released a new
I'm
song.
starting to go down this internet rabbit hole.
she released a new song, and there was this black TikTok artist, she called herself. It's fucking retarded, but she called herself an artist named Chanel T. And she picked a dance for the song called the Twerkinator. Now, I guess there was another white bitch on TikTok by the name of Allison Ray who did the Twerkinator and is taking credit for it. And according to the LA Times, there's an epidemic of white TikTok users taking credit for black dancers. And I honestly think
white bitches be stealing TikTok dances. Is that what happened? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, the fucking dogs wasn't enough, and they gotta steal everyone's TikTok dances on top of it.
Oh, well, the only reason white chicks are stealing all this stuff is so that they can try to turn the black men gay.
But isn't like the thing that white women can't dance? So if they can't dance, then how are they able to steal this dance and then replicate it? Because how this story broke was this Allison Ray bitch went on the Jimmy Fallon show, and the rapper that made the song was there, and Jimmy Fallon had her do the dance with the rapper that made the song. And then I guess she took credit for it, and then Chanel T, the original black chick who made it up, went on a whole storm of TikToks about how this is a classic example of racism, and it's unbelievable at a time like Juneteenth that this Allison Ray bitch would even do something like this. And it started a whole movement called the Black Creator Strike on TikTok.
Okay.
White people, yay!
Okay. So these people went on strike and literally nobody noticed. Is that what's pretty much happened?
Yeah, dude. My answer to who gives a shit is nobody. This is like a LA Times plant. Like, this is a clickbait article. Because before this, I didn't even know that black TikTok creators existed as a group. I don't even know what a TikTok
much less have
is.
the freaking cohesion for so that everyone that's black goes on strike.
I wasn't even aware that they could go on strike from whatever it is they do. Dancing, I guess.
But what? So I saw you say that you were bringing this topic in, and I'm like, what the black? Is there what? Is there like a union or something? What the fuck is going on here? But literally, when I saw what this was supposed to be, immediately I was like, who gives a shit? Like, a whole fucking group of TikTok users could go on strike. No one should care. No one would care. Like, there's not a million other things to watch on TikTok to watch your little 15 seconds of fucking banality or whatever the fuck it is. Like, nobody gives a shit, like, at all. And it's not even good bait.
Yeah, it's really not, because I would guess the majority of America doesn't even have a TikTok. I mean, I know a couple 12-year-olds in my family who might give a shit about this, but, like, I'm not gonna be like, to my dad, like, hey, did you see what happened on TikTok? Because anyone over have a TikTok. So it's like, really, who gives a shit? I tried to find who gives a shit. And apart from the LA Times and the black TikTok creators themselves, I could not find one other outside group who gives a shit about this.
I don't think that they give a shit about it either, because whenever they realize that other people don't care, I guess they're going to be like, well, congratulations, we played ourselves. I guess we can get back to making TikToks and promoting our OnlyFans or whatever the fuck we do.
I guess TikTok is an institution of racism, and they need to be stopped.
I know it's real tragic, and everyone is concerned about the racial inequities on TikTok. I assure you, everyone stands in solidarity with this black creator
If
strike on
President
TikTok.
Biden doesn't address this racial epidemic soon, I'm just going to assume that he hates all black people.
He does. I mean, really, it's Kanye West that has to make that call, but he will soon.
Fuck, man, this is such a nothing story, and it really felt like they were, on the drawing board, like Alex Jones type style with pins and strings and connecting the yarn from one point to another. How can I make this about race baiting outrage? We need to get a race angle into this somewhere, and it's just like nobody gives a shit about TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the whole root of it, that no one gave a shit about TikTok at all. Like, what if, let's say, all the black YouTubers went on strike? I don't think anyone would care, and then they would be like, well, I could kind of go for some of this ad revenue money, and they would just come back.
Well, if that happened,
the world will keep on ticking. It doesn't
if that
fucking
happened,
matter. It's
I
not
would
like
miss Jesse Wee
It's
Peterson.
not like they stopped making
but
something
that's about
important.
it.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, well, I know he wouldn't fucking hop on board with that. He'd call them all, I don't even know. He'd call them Uncle Toms or some shit like that, and trying to say that he's emulating the white people with their actual unions, but that they are like a satanic union of I don't know. Jesse Lee Peterson would find some fucking snazzy ass way of saying some wild ass shit about it, though. Believe
By
that.
the way, it is White History Month, invented by Jesse Wee Peterson. To quote him, he said, July feels white. So if you celebrate White History Month, I'm going to wish you a happy White History Month. I think it's hilarious, and I, for one, am going to buy the t-shirt soon to wear out in public. I think you can get it on Teespring at jesseweepeterson.com/Teespring. I think it's where you can get it. So happy White History, everybody.
Yeah. Well, CJ, you got anything else to say about this? The black TikTok?
No, not really. I figured out that they existed 2 days ago when I did my research to bring in something to the show. And I and everyone else still don't give a shit. So with that, I think we should go into voicemails.
All right. Well, also, don't forget about our Patreon, patreon.com/WGA Shit Show, which stands for Who Gives a Shit Show. And, we have released all our bonus content, keeping up with it. So we have a commentary, which is on the show the movie Buck Breaking, which is just an amazing movie. I'm still randomly laughing about this shit because it's just
the best comedy of 2021, Buck Breaking. It's been my favorite comedy film that I've seen in a while. So.
And then we also have a bonus episode with Catfish. We talked with him about the differences between the American and Australian jails, and the way they do their legal system. And that's on the $5 tier. Totally worth it. And we appreciate you stopping by. So, you got anything you want to plug there, CJ?
I do. So by the time this show comes out, which would be on a Saturday, this Friday, my appearance on Shitty Song of the Week with my buddy Brandon is going to be released for all the masses to listen to. I'm slipping on your Patreon name at the moment, but you can listen to Shitty Song of the Week on all your podcast players. And even if you're just there for my episode, give all the other ones a listen, because it is a great show, great format, and I always have fun with it. So go check those guys out and vote for what you think is the shittier song. And now, if you're a retard, you might not vote for Aerosmith, but if you're intelligent, you would vote for Aerosmith.
All right. Well, let's play our first voicemail of the week.
What's up? It's Flo Euphoria. You might get multiple voicemails because I think, oh shit, I don't know if it's already happened or what, but you guys got my dog Catfish from Upside Down Land coming on the show. That's cool. But CJ, you really are a fucking degenerate. I didn't even realize. Like, eating pussy is I don't want to call it a beta activity. I mean, if it's going to be the difference between you getting laid and not getting laid, then you gotta go down for the deep dive. Sorry about all the background noise. I'm on location here at the fucking military contractor pavilion. Just ignore all that. But yeah, the ass eating, I mean, my God. I don't know. You did fuck a dude for an hour, so I can't really be that surprised, but I'm just wondering if you fucked in the ass afterwards. Is that something you do? Do you have like a robotic dick you use? Are you like that dude from that French movie where you just have them massage your ears and shit? Like I said, this might be the first of many voicemails because this episode is thick with the content. But yeah, the psych meds, that's no fucking joke. What Adam's saying, I mean, it's just crazy to hear about people that have been on these drugs that are hundreds of dollars a month for 10 years at a time, and they're still miserable, and they're just now addicted to some weird pharmaceutical bullshit. Because Adam knows that I know, and I know that Adam, this shit's fucked. Anyways, Flo Euphoria on all platforms if you want to talk more. But yeah, expect a part 2, because I'm only like 12 minutes in, and I just said, fuck it, that's it, I've had enough. CJ, you really are incorrigible. I'm all right. Yeah. Fuck. Who gives a shit? Fuck it.
Well, listen here, buddy. Maybe if you guys had asked more, you wouldn't need drugs that cost hundreds of dollars, and you wouldn't need to do them for 10 years straight. Maybe the key to happiness is eating ass.
No, the key to happiness is eating pussy.
I
and
disagree.
You got your life just turned upside down.
I'm double dipping again. I actually plan on eating ass later this week, and I'm looking forward to it. So,
oh my gosh! Of course you are, CJ. Well, Flo Euphoria continues and more voicemail. Well, check it out.
Part 2, as promised. Flo Euphoria here. I had kind of a philosophical question for Adam. So hot bitches obviously have an easier time in society, but okay. I mean, and this is women that we're talking about here, how likely are they to self-actualize that they are getting favorable treatment? You know what I mean? Like, Amaranth is playing her part in the society that everybody created. I guess that's where, like, the root of the anger comes from the simps, as, you know, always, no e-girls ever. But that was just something I was thinking of. Like, I hate to hate on someone's hustle. But yeah, she
shit,
could go
I'm
and
feeling a white knight tinge.
Do other things, like contrastingly Belle Delphine. I don't know if she was ever a Twitch thought or whatever, but, you know, she staved off the pornography as long as she could so that she could make as much money from it. And that's sad, you know, that our society is like willing to gratify that so much. I'm not really an anti-porn dude, but it's just like, you know, she's one of the few that's probably can come out of this mentally undamaged because she hasn't been through the industry meat grinder. But anyways, fuck, I was going to talk about something CJ said. Yeah, death penalty is obviously fucked up. It's not about, some people need to die, that's for sure, but you can't trust the American courts to decide who that is. They're just too flawed. And, damn it, I'll call back later if I remember it. For you.
All right, man. I feel a twinge of the freaking white knighting right there. So when he was talking about some of these other chicks like self-actualizing and shit like that, The ones that don't, they knowingly buy into the negative aspects of what they can get away with. When it comes to like the path of least resistance, there's a definite way that you can act like a total hoe and end up on top of things if you got a little bit of luck on the internet these days. And they know what they're doing, man. But now I don't have a problem with like Belle Delphine because she never didn't pretend to not be a hoe. All right. Like everyone knew
She
they were
also,
getting into.
Belle Delphine is excusable in my opinion because she made fun of the simps that were paying for her shit, and they still paid thousands of dollars to this woman. So
Yeah. Well, anyway. Oh, hold on. We still got one more voicemail. Here we go.
You know, calling Kmart stands the equivalent of Kmart weebs is the reason I love listening to this show. And also, speaking of the last episode, fuck Vito, get a better trope. That's all I got. I don't know. Have a good day, boys.
Oh, why are you gonna say fuck Vito, man? Vito's all right, man.
yeah, Vito is very funny.
I guess I can be kind of a blue-pilled beta cuck at times.
Oh man.
Vito, don't go so hard on yourself, buddy. You are the Numa guy. So
I know, man. Internet royalty right there. Remix coming soon. Well, I guess that's all we got for this week. Well, so I'm Adam from Houston.
And I'm CJ. Stay horny, everybody. Eat some ass. Eat some ass.
See ya.